The Return. As within a review, this may contain spoilers. Peace and love, everyone. Ultimately, the movie was disappointing. I'll explain more in a bit, but before I do, let me give you the synopsis. The story follows Odysseus, played by Fiennes, who washes up on the shores of Ithaca after 20 years away and is taken in by a local man. The film tells the last sections of Homer's Odyssey. The king has returned from the Trojan War, but is haggard and unrecognizable. Just as the people on the island don't recognize their once king, Odysseus doesn't recognize his kingdom. His wife Penelope, played by Binoche, who never lost hope of his return, is imprisoned in her home as suitors vying to be king demand she chooses one of them to marry. Odysseus and Penelope's son Telemachus is in constant danger and seen as an obstacle from those vying for Penelope's hand. Seeing how everything has changed, Odysseus works to regain his strength and take his kingdom back. However, the Trojan War has left him scarred and broken. I found the film disappointing because it took far too long to reveal the truth, not to the audience, but to the other characters. It's hard to believe that he wouldn't be recognized even after all these years of being away. His legend was far too big for him not to be recognized. There's a place where all the suitors vying to be king congregate, and as Odysseus shows up, he is forced to fight for his life. After killing one of the men, still no one recognizes the mighty warrior king. Before he reveals himself, Odysseus and Penelope have a one-on-one, but Odysseus stays in the shadows. Penelope senses that this is Odysseus and asks the shadowy figure rhetorical questions. She wants to know why Odysseus would not return to her. Odysseus, pained by remorse and shame of what has become of him, struggles to answer and is told to leave. What I found frustrating is that we learned that not only Penelope recognized Odysseus, but also the local man who initially found him on the shore. There's too much of a cat and mouse of whether Odysseus will reveal his true identity to them, but in the end, they tell him they already knew. As I mentioned, it felt frustrating as opposed to being suspenseful, as I'm sure the filmmakers intended it to be. I'm sure this also reads differently in Homer's Odyssey. I mentioned a lot of negatives I found with this movie, but I did like the climax at the end. Penelope tells the suitors of a challenge she wants them to partake in, and whoever wins, she will marry that person. Those scenes, along with a brutal massacre, were the best part of the film for me. Overall, the movie was disappointing. However, that doesn't mean you wouldn't enjoy it, and it may be worth watching. If you stuck around this long, why not give the video a like? Try it out, see if it works. Subscribe, check out my other videos, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the film. See you in the next review.